Okay, for the sake of time, we're going to move really fast so that we give our next speaker as much time as possible. The next speaker is a guy who has been in the business IT world for a lot of years, literally longer than most of you have been alive. And that's not because you're old, it's just because he's been doing it a long time. But he is really one of the best at what he does. He has done so much in creative content development. He's actually the guy that does Rick Green's website, does the Waffler's website, did the Founders Bible app, done a ton of stuff, but also does a really good job networking, helping people get connected, helping ministries get connected, knowing how to do things. He is the go-to guy for Rick, for us, for all of our IT needs, but he has a lot bigger perspective on some things, which is why I wanted to come and kind of share and talk to you guys. His name is Kyle. Did you guys give a big hand to Kyle?
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it, man. Good job. Good job. Hey, guys. It's wonderful to be here with you guys, and thanks for the round of applause. I tell you, it is really exciting to be here with you young people who are going into the government mountain, who are, maybe you're not here for government, but you're here to develop leadership, to grow in your personal skills, all of those things. I can't think of a better place to be today than with a group of people like you. There's two things that bring me here today. The first thing is, Rick's asked me to come here and share with you some very practical ways that you can monetize your passion, your political career, what your dream and passion is for your life. How many of you would like to make money doing what you love? Would that be nice? Amen. Well, that's one of the things that we want to talk about, and I'm going to come to that towards the end of our presentation. But the second reason that I'm here and that Rick's brought me here is to really consult and to observe Patriot Academy, to really look at how we can expand our support, our help, your ongoing education. How can we help you improve and grow throughout the year, not just at the boot camps, but all throughout the year? One of the things I've liked most about Patriot Academy is that you guys are learning by doing. It's an experiential learning. Yesterday when you guys were writing bills or running campaigns and doing all of those types of things, that's a phenomenal, phenomenal way to learn. And one thing I realized is there's really three ways to learn. There's three things that we do, and I'm going to share with you that in just a minute. But I want to share with you the passion that connected me here. There's three things I'm extremely passionate about, and Tim hit on one of those, and that's building websites, building platforms, not just websites, but platforms that actually help people grow and expand. We're talking about e-learning, we're talking about gamification, we're talking about e-commerce, social media, all of that. But those websites and those web platforms are simply just the home base. They're the dugout. They're where you kind of huddle up. It's where you kind of build your database. You connect with your tribe. The real action happens when the people connect, and that's the second passion that I have, is actually building tribes. Now, what is a tribe? A tribe is a group of people connected to a leader like Rick, connected to an idea like Patriot Academy and becoming the best you can be as a young millennial. And for over 17 years, as Tim was talking about, we've helped millions of people connect. We've had hundreds of thousands of people join our platform. We've literally trained hundreds of thousands of people to grow and expand, to create viral networks of people that can share a message, that can go out and make a difference. As you think about running a campaign, as you think about building your brand, as the previous speaker was talking about, you have to get people talking about you. You have to get people interested in you. You've got to build a team around yourself, and building those types of tribes is one of my three passions. And my third passion is actually the process of building the tribe, actually creating people that know how to get viral, to know how to have communication with one another, to know how to come and talk to somebody like Chad here and get Chad excited about an idea, and then he wants to take that idea and spread it to you. So building tribes is something we're really passionate about, something we try to do with all of our clients that we work with. Now, one of the reasons why I'm excited and interested in Patriot Academy is, like I was saying before, you guys are into what's called experiential learning. Do you guys know there's three ways to learn in life? There's three ways that you learn anything that you know right now. And the first style is called information style learning. Now, information style learning can be like your boring professor at school who stands up behind the platform and is teaching about civics and history in a very monotone way. Information style can be that way. It can be a podcast that you're listening to. It could be your pastor that you're listening to. Right now, you're in information style learning. You're sitting there passively listening to me, and I'm actively imparting information to you. That's information style learning. It's powerful. I use it every day. I've got a huge library. I've got a huge audio library of hundreds of books, and I love to learn and listen passively. But the second way that we learn is motivational style learning. And motivational style learning is kind of like Anthony Robbins or some of the more motivational speakers that get you really excited, get you walking on the seats and standing up and cheering and high-fiving and walking on fire and really getting your emotions engaged in learning. That's the second style, and it's very powerful. Because if you can get someone's emotions engaged in the learning process, you engage a whole different part of them. So motivational style learning is the second way we learn. And those are the two ways that I was learning. In 2000, I got introduced to learning post-college. How many of you are after college, right? You've already graduated or you're out of that part of your life. Once I left college, I thought, I'm never going to learn again. I'm going to give the books away, pack them up. I don't want to study. I don't want to do anything like that. But in 2000, when I began to start a business, I began to be interested in learning again. So I started amassing information. I'd go to motivational seminars, I'd walk on fire and get super excited about all of that. But I began to hit a threshold, a limit of learning that was capping out. I wasn't seeing the change I saw early on when I began to study in the early 2000s. And in 2004, I was introduced to a concept called experiential learning, or learning by experience, which is the third way we learn. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about Patriot Academy, because you guys are learning by doing. You're writing bills. You're running mock campaigns. You're not just sitting here in the seat all day listening. You're out going and getting active. And that third way of learning is really, really powerful because it really transforms your life. And we're going to be looking to expand more and more on experiential learning. Now, the reason experiential learning is so important is because it goes beyond just your head. How many of you know what a paradigm is? A belief system. Anybody know what that is? I like to represent paradigms like these green glasses right here when I do my seminars. Now, right now, you all look like Martians. You're all green. You're all glowing. But this is a lens. This is a way that I'm seeing the world. It's my belief system. I may have a lens that I'm left and I'm liberal. And just like we saw in the Dennis Prager video, that I see all the things wrong with America and I want to fundamentally change America in 5 days from now, like Barack Obama, right? That was his lens. That was his paradigm, that we were a broke and flawed nation. On the right, we have people that look and say, no, we want to conserve American values. That's how they see the world. They wanted to not change. They want to hold to the principles. They want to develop patriots. Every single person has a paradigm, multiple paradigms or lenses. You call these life's emotional navigation systems. And the job of experiential learning, and why experiential learning, the third way to learn, is so important, is because it allows us to discover, remove, and smash these lenses that are holding us back. Now, there's certain lenses that are important to us, right? It's an important lens for me that I'm a conservative. It's an important lens for me that I'm married and loyal to my wife. It's an important lens to me, all of my different beliefs, my Christian belief and so forth and so on. But as I was growing and trying to expand in my business, as I was trying to make more money, as I was trying to be a more influential Christian, there were some lenses, some belief systems that were holding me back, and I didn't even know that I had them. Most of these lenses are more like this. We have them, but we don't even see them. They're invisible to us. They're like on the back of our heads. And it's only getting in the experience of the experience, when our emotions goes up, that we begin to discover these lenses. And we all have them. Matter of fact, I'm going to break a golf ball rule. I don't see everybody's holding it right now, but put your golf ball between your legs right now or somewhere. Yep, good job. Put your hands out like this. Now what I'm going to have you to do is bring your hand, not when I say go, I'm going to have you bring your hands together and clasp them together. Then I'm going to have you spread them apart. Are you ready? Hands together, hands apart. Hands together, hands apart. Hands together. Now, which thumb is on top? Take a look. Which thumb is on top of the other? How many of you are right thumb people? Your right thumb is on top. How many of you are left thumb people? Your left thumb is on top. When did you decide that? At what point, what day, what month, what year in your young adolescence, when you first put your hands together, did you make the conscious decision that you were going to be a right hand on top kind of person, or a left hand on top, or left thumb on top type of person? When did you make that decision? Who influenced you to be a righty or a lefty? Do you remember that? How many of you can remember that? I've done this for thousands of people and no one's raised their hands. Now what I want you to do is put your hands apart again, and not until I say go, but I'm going to have you bring your hands together. But this time, I want you to put your other thumb on top. Not your, if you're a righty, put your left on top. If you're a lefty, put your right on top. Are you ready? Set, go. How many of you heard knuckles popping, right? I mean, how many of you right now, that feels kind of awkward? It's kind of like holding a wet fish or a slimy something or another. Does that feel awkward to you? Does that feel different to you? Most of us, when we're bringing our hands together, it's like docking the space station. We're trying to figure it out. You had to really think about it consciously to put the other thumb on top. How many of your beliefs that you have right now about government, about money, about family, about your future and your destiny are just automatic? And you don't even know why you believe what you believe. You don't even know what you do. And that's why experiential learning is so important, because it breaks us out of our normal routine. How many of you felt uncomfortable yesterday running a campaign? Right? Come on, guys. Some of you are pros. Down here in front, he's like, nah, man, I'm good. But most of us, we feel uncomfortable. That's a good thing. That's that left thumb or that right thumb on top. It's us changing our behaviors, changing our routines, changing our perceptions. Now take your right finger and put it up in the air. Look at the tip of your finger. Now what I'm going to have you do is do a really big circle, okay? Do a big circle clockwise. Okay, noon, 1, 2, 3. How many of you know clockwise? Some of you are homeschooled. Pay attention to your neighbor. Big, put it above your head where you're looking at your finger. Your finger has to be above your head. Keep going, big circle. Don't stop moving your finger, but bring your finger down where you're looking down at it. Now what direction is it going? Do it again. Put it above your head. Your finger's going clockwise. Don't change how you're moving your hand, but bring your finger down. Now what way is it going? Look down at your finger. It's going counterclockwise. What changed? Did your hand change, moving clockwise up here versus counterclockwise down here? No, your perception changed. How you saw the event changed. The action didn't change. The facts didn't change. The way you saw the facts changed. And what I hope you do today is change the way you see your destiny. Hopefully within the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to be able to help you shift the way you look at your destiny, at your purpose, at your passion, and what you have going. You see, my world shifted about 10 years or so ago. I was in my studio in Fort Worth, Texas, and I had this guy come over named Lance Wallnow. And Lance was teaching this concept called 7 Mountains. And 7 Mountains was an insight that he got from 2 people. How many of you have heard of Lauren Cunningham, the founder of Youth with a Mission, or YWAM, right? One of the largest campus crusades. And then there was this other guy named Bill Bright, who started Campus Crusades, and Lauren Cunningham, who started YWAM. Some of the most influential people in the 70s and 80s who are reaching the age group just like you. And these 2 gentlemen back in 1994 both had a vision, a visitation, I guess you could say, from God. And they had this vision, and they rushed together and they had a word for each other. They were going to share what they saw, and they realized they both had the same vision at the same time. And what they saw is that there's 7 spheres of influence in culture, 7 mountains, 7 systems set up to control the whole way nations are run and nations are discipled and nations are managed. These 7 mountains are, first, religion and church. Who in this room is called to missionary or being a pastor or working in the church some way? Raise your hand. All right, come up. I want you to come hold this for me. You can, got to bring your golf ball. You do. I don't want to break Patriot Academy. Bring your character with you. We got to have your character on stage. So there's religion and church. I'm going to have you hold this up in front of you. Now, here's a great question. How many of you are called to the government mountain? You literally feel called to be a candidate. You in the back, come on up. I'm going to have you hold the government mountains. Who here is called to education, to be a teacher? Come on up. And I'll have you hold this education one. Who here is called to family or family ministries? Anybody feel called to family? Come on up. And I'll have you hold the family one. And just hold it right up in front of you. Who in this room is called to business? Y'all saw it, like everybody's going to business. All right, come on up. I'm sorry, you guys should have sat down front. You get the bonus seats, if you come down front. Who in this room is called to media, social media, those types of things? Come on up. Who in this room is called to be an actor or be in the arts and entertainment arena? Come on up. You? Yes, you. All right. And what these 2 gentlemen saw were these 7 mountains of culture, these 7 influences that shape the way you think, what you believe, your paradigms, and all of that. Remember, when did you learn to be a lefty? When did you learn to be a righty? Who shaped that belief system that you have? Right? Well, that one's kind of ingrained. I don't really know when that happened. You might have been sucking on your thumb and then you just put it down. There it was, And that was just, just a habit, right? But when did you decide to be conservative? Or if you're liberal in this room, when did you decide to be liberal? How did you come about your belief systems? And what Lance said is that there are 7 mountains of culture. There's the religion and church mountain. There's those that are on top of that mountain. And they looked at these 7 spheres as if they were mountains. If you were to see these 7 individuals, picture 7 mountains, 7 peaks, 7 areas of influence. And at the top of these mountains are what's called mind molders, mind shapers. The former session we just had a couple sessions ago was talking about the business and finance mountain. The Federal Reserve is at the top of that mountain controlling our money system, right? Rick brought up all the comic heroes, and one of the speakers got up and said, in the arts and entertainment in Hollywood, all of those comic heroes who represent such great moral American kind of principles, they're all liberals. How many of you know liberals are controlling Hollywood? Would anybody agree with me on that? What about Mark Zuckerberg, right? And media. What about, the constantly negative news and CNN, right? Is that left-leaning? What about business? We already covered that, and business owning that. What about the family? What values are being taught to our families right now? All this gender confusion and parental rights and all of those things. The family mountain is in flux. What are we teaching people in our schools? What is happening? The people that are in charge of these mountains are changing the way we're educating. That one speaker who showed all of those people at Washington University. What's happening on our campuses? We've lost the tops of these mountains. What's happening in government? Who's up there running this? Thank God we've got Trump, but who else is up there in the swamp at the top of this mountain influencing things? What about religion and church? You see, what happened, in my opinion, is about 50 to 100 years ago, the church mountain and the religion mountain began to say, oh, don't go into government because we're just going to rapture and be out of here any minute. Or that's a terrible place to go. And so we began to move away and out of the government mountain. We said, no, don't worry about education. Let's move out of that mountain. Let's don't worry about family. Let's don't worry about business. That's where money and the love of money and the root of all evil is. Definitely don't go into media. Definitely don't go to Hollywood. That's where the spawn of Satan is. And so what happened was you left those mountains vacant. We, my generation, left the tops of these mountains vacant, without leadership, without guidance, without Christ. And what Rick and the team are trying to do is get you to go into the government mountain, to go take this one back, to be a mind molder on top of this. Do you realize it only takes about 8% of the population to change everything? That's statistics. Think about this. There's varying statistics on the homosexual agenda, but let's look at the homosexual agenda across this. Are there homosexuals now in a lot of our churches being ordained? Yes or no? Are there homosexuals driving the government agenda in our country? Yes or no? Yes. Are there homosexuals and alternative lifestyles and bathrooms being implemented into our schools? Yes or no? Yes. Is the family being completely redefined by the homosexual and transgender agenda? Yes or no? Yes. Is business being transformed and the laws and the types of health care that we have to provide and all of that for all these variants types of lifestyles? Yes or no? Yes. Is media propping this up with news and social media? Yes or no? Yes. And what are we seeing in Hollywood for the past 20, 30 years? Are we seeing gays on every single show, every single sitcom? Everything has to have a tip to the hat and a bow to the gay agenda. Yes or no? Yes. But only 8% of the population is designated homosexual. Some say 3, 4, 5%. Some say 10%. Let's just pick 8. 8% of the population has now taken over the tops of every one of these mountains and are now shaping culture and forcing us to be on the defensive. Is that a right thing? No. We've got to take it back. And the way we take it back is not just by learning and not just by getting motivated that we need to take it back, guys. Come on, let's take it back. We've got to get engaged. We've got to move to experiential learning. We've got to get to the place where we are actually doing things on a daily basis, learning through action, breaking down our own paradigms, our own belief systems, and really getting involved in this process. Would that be powerful, yes or no? So what Patriot Academy does is it brings you here and gets you dynamically engaged in the process. You're not just learning, you're not just sitting, you're writing bills, you're passing mock legislations, you're sharpening your saw, you're practicing, you're holding on to your character. Holding that golf ball is experiential learning. How many of you are having an experience with your golf ball? Getting to know that golf ball really well, right? But it's in your mind. It's changing your behavior, how you hold things, how you navigate your day is now altered. It's like those hands coming together. That golf ball is now kind of a thorn in the flesh, right? But it's constantly reminding you. It's constantly changing. It's constantly changing your paradigm and bringing that to the top of your mind. So what we want to do very practically, because I'm a very practical person, we're going to launch 3 different boot camps. I'm going to come back around to the reason that I'm here. I'm here to help you monetize your passion. By monetize, I mean make money doing what you love to do. And sometimes you can't always make money doing what you love to do. That's just a reality of life. But you can make money in an entrepreneurial type way that isn't a 9-to-5 job, that gives you more time and more freedom than to pursue the thing that you really love. Now, you may be blessed and you may find what you really love and you can make money doing it, but the skills that we're going to teach you and the environments that you're going to get involved with are going to help accelerate you into this process. So in the Media Mountain, we want to take this back, all right? I'm sorry, in the arts and entertainment, we're right now, my team is creating, I'm going to have you step up. We're looking to, right here, we're looking to take the arts and entertainment mountain by making viral videos. How many of you are interested in making videos, acting, being an actor, being a director, being a script writer, influencing it? Okay, so that's great. I've been running film clubs with my kids for several years. How many of you are actively making money and getting paid to do that right now? 1, 2. How many of you know how to make money and get paid in this way, in a way that you could actually do it? And if you know how, but you're not doing, to know and to not do is to truly not know, right? So if you're not making money, you may know the thought, you may have an idea of how to do it, but you don't know how to do it. This is why my passion of making tribes is so important. To make a tribe is to create a team and an environment and a system around you that can help you be successful, right? The enemy wants to always bring us off and pull us off alone and segment us off. What we want to do, just like you're here with this group today, we want to get you involved in a group and an organization that's actually creating viral videos. Right now, we just made a video. It's at about 7 million views now in less than a few weeks. We've got another one at 1.4 million views. And we're getting paid right away to make these videos. In my breakout, I'm going to have a breakout around 2:30. We're actually going to make videos right here, right now. We're not just going to teach, we're actually going to get involved and actually make viral videos. And if you're good enough, hopefully you'll be able to start making viral videos for us well and be starting to get paid for those videos very quickly. Would that be of interest to all those that are interested in that? Right? That's a very, you can step back, that's a very right brain type situation. Another boot camp that we're creating in the Media Mountain is social media marketing. What's good is it if you make a video, but nobody knows about it? Where we're getting these 8 million views and 6 million views is on Facebook. But to get Facebook to list that and to go viral, you've got to know how to do social media marketing. So we're going to be teaching you, and we have boot camps where you can start running social media campaigns for businesses and organizations that are interested in taking these videos and putting them on Facebook. To do what? To create an online selling business. We're working with one of the largest Amazon seller organizations in the world. And right now, they're super hungry for viral videos that are being promoted online and getting millions and millions of hits. And a lot of them don't even have to get millions of hits, 10,000 views, 12,000 views. But then we have capture systems and online selling that drives that to actually sell products and services. And we're actually creating and teaching people how to become what we call product champions. Right now, this company has done about $30 million last year. We're on track to basically double that, and we want to be at $100 million within 3 years from now. How many of you like kind of left brain type stuff, running spreadsheets, analytics, running numbers, doing that type of thing? If you're that kind of person, online selling is for you. because it's a data metric driven process. We find products that have a void, we fill that void, and then we use social media and we use viral videos to actually drive traffic to that. How many of you would like to learn that process? Now here's an important part. You guys can step back. Did the homosexual agenda only attack the religion mountain? Nope. Did it only attack the government mountain or the education or the family or the media or arts and entertainment? No. It attacked all 7 at one time. You know, we were talking to Krish downstairs, and he was talking about, you know, he was meeting with some Democrats, and he was talking about their strategy. He said, you know, when they differ, the liberals, when they differ, they know how to come together, set down their petty differences, and align and converge their finances and their resources on one message, and that's how they defeat us, because we, as conservative, often stay splintered. What does the Bible say? 1 puts 1,000 to flight, but 2 what? Put 10,000 to flight. Shouldn't it be 2,000? Shouldn't 1 plus 1 equal 2,000? Why does 1 and then another hit a 10 times multiplied factor? Does anybody know why that happens? Power of duplication, but it's just something built into the power of agreement. When we come into agreement, when we come into service, when we're willing to lay down ourselves and work as a team, wonderful things happen. You know, Jesus really illustrated this point in the upper room across the Gospels. The last day Jesus spent on earth, he took his apostles up and had the Passover supper. How many of you know that story? In Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, it tells different aspects of that story. Jesus was in the upper room. Judas has already betrayed him and left the building. Jesus is mulling over what's about to happen to him. And he realizes that he needs to teach the apostles one final thing. So he takes off his robe. He begins to tie it around him and gather some water, and he turns his back. And what's happening behind him with the other 11 apostles? Does any of you remember what's going on? An argument. An argument. On the last day that Jesus is on the planet, with 11 guys left to entrust this message, the gospel message, to go around the world, they're having an argument over what? Who's going to be the greatest in the kingdom of God? Is it my Republican platform? Is it my conservative platform? Is it this bill? Is it that? And we all divide and we fracture. We all got to be the most important. We've all got to be the greatest. And Jesus turned around and said, guys, no. This is not how this kingdom works. And he gets down on his hands and knees. He says, I come among you as one who serves. I come among you as one who serves. We've got to work together. We can't lead and lord and do all this over each other. We've got to learn to work together and quit focusing on our differences. And so one of the reasons why we're going to take back these 7 mountains is because, you guys can flip your other opportunities over, these 3 opportunities are going to work in conjunction together. Because the people that are left-brained and really good at the numbers don't know how to make videos. They don't. They just don't. It's a right brain artistic thing. But the guys who are right brain at making videos and right brain at writing sales copy hate spreadsheets. You can't make them look at numbers. They can't balance their checkbook. They can't find their car keys. All those kind of, you know, and these guys just won't do that. And so instead of saying, well, I'm going to do this on my own, I'm going to do this on my own, I'm going to do this on my own, we're going to bring these 3 things together. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were to go through one of our boot camps and get good at making viral videos, would that be beneficial to a political campaign? Uh-oh, I lost the mic again. Would that be good as a political campaign? Bring it up. I'm up. Oh, it's the antenna. I got it. So if you can make viral videos, would that be beneficial to whatever your passion and purpose is to get the word out? Yes or no? Would it be beneficial to learn that? Yes. Would it be beneficial to learn how to get the word out on social media no matter what your passion is? Yes or no? Amen. Of course it would be. And if you could learn how to be an online seller, what a company we're working with is projecting you can make $30,000 to $50,000 in your first 12 to 18 months. Do it at home, solopreneur, don't have to go anywhere. And each one of these have the same kind of earning potential to become a consultant in building out these types of platforms. So we're really looking forward to launching that. So I'm going to have a breakout at 2:20 or whatever it may be. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about online selling and social media, but we're going to go right into making a video. Even if you're into these 2, come. learn about the online selling, learn about these things, and then we're going to get you right involved. And then what I want you to do, write this down. If you're interested in any one of these 3 areas, I want you to go join. I asked Rick if we could do this. We created a private Facebook group just for you guys. Tribus, Tribus. Write that down. Tribus, Tribus. Marketing. Just search that on Facebook. We have a private Facebook group called Tribus Marketing. And if you're specifically interested in making the videos, there's Tribus Film Club. And just click join. We'll get in touch with you. We're ramping this up over the next 30, 60 days, and we're going to be applying this. And in conclusion, what we're looking to do is take some of these skills that we're learning, building tribes, creating movements, and also apply that to Patriot Academy. I hope many of you come just to learn how to make viral videos, social media, and do these things, just so we can apply that to really growing Patriot Academy and growing the passion that you have. Don't let your paradigms hold you back. Don't let the way you've always done things hold you back. Don't let your perceptions of seeing the world one way when you can see it another way hold you back, okay? All right, thank you guys for coming to Patriot Academy. You guys are awesome, awesome. And thanks to our volunteers here. Great job, guys. Thanks so much.